And it looks like a quiet evening in store for us. Maybe a few high clouds drifting through the area from time to time, and temperatures will drop into the 50s. But check out tomorrow. We've got 90 degrees. It's going to be very warm and somewhat windy. We've got that westerly wind, and that will help to warm things up, especially on this side of the mountain chain. Right now, 68 up in Ruidoso. That's a nice cool temperature for them. Mid-80s in Roswell, low 80s Hobbs, 87 in Carlsbad, a few 60s off to our north. The wind speeds, for the most part, pretty light, but tomorrow we're anticipating stronger winds as the storm system continues to move on shore. Right now, the bulk of the moisture is in California and back up into Nevada, and it looks like it's going to track off to our north, and mainly what we'll see out of this are the gusty west winds. So here is what we're anticipating. Of course, gusty winds across most of the state. Probably the strongest winds will be out here east of the central mountain chain. They'll see 20 to 30 out towards the west, and an occasional shower not out of the question, especially up into our northern mountains. Into the week, into the weekend, high pressure settles overhead, at least off towards the west. That is going to allow for things to get really dry. We may see a front moving in towards the end of the week that will cool us off a few degrees as well. So here's what we're expecting with these gusty winds. The strongest winds will probably be in this general area, probably northern Chavez County up towards Klein's Corners, anywhere from 25 to 35 mile per hour sustained winds and gusts near 40 miles per hour. Elsewhere, it won't be quite as strong, but the reason why it's going to be so gusty on this side of the mountains is when you get that westerly wind, well, you have a tendency of downsloping some of those winds and getting some very strong gusts. So that's kind of what's going to happen there. And of course, in a combination with that approaching storm system, it's all going to kind of come together, and we're going to see a pretty gusty day tomorrow. Not to mention it's going to be warm as well. Right now across the country, we're seeing storms across the Midwest, back towards the west as well. Temperatures in the 30s up in Rapid City, 50s in Denver, 70s and 80s off to our south, a few 60s across the west coast, and overnight lows anywhere from the freezing temperatures up north around Rapid City to 70s down in San Antonio. Tomorrow's highs anywhere from the 80s and 90s down south, and by the way, we will see a few 90s here as well. Check out Artesia, Carlsbad, Hobbs, Lovington, right here in Roswell, right near 90 degrees or at least 95 around Carlsbad. Meanwhile, Alamogordo will hit 83 tomorrow afternoon, a nice, cool, and comfortable 66 in Cloudcroft, and the winds are going to be fairly gusty, especially up towards Fort Sumner and areas around Klein's Corners. So keep that in mind to make sure to use both hands on the steering wheel if you're going to be out and about driving. Next 7 days, it looks like it's going to be warm to start out. 90 degrees tomorrow in Roswell, partly to mostly sunny skies, and those overnight lows will remain on the mild side. Mid-80s Thursday as we start to see those temperatures dip a little bit, and then we cool off towards the end of the week with the arrival of that front. So do a good 20-degree temperature drop almost towards Saturday. And between tomorrow and Saturday, overnight lows will be in the 50s, and we will remain pretty dry. We're not anticipating any shower activity, at least for the near future.